Much love, my brothers and my sisters. And I know you're doing great because you're alive and breathing. And welcome to another EBX discussion. And let's get to the honors. I honor thy ancestors. I honor my parents, my mom, my dad. May my dad rest in peace and in power. And any of you that maybe have family members that may have passed, may they rest in peace and in power. And why do I always do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because remembering those before us and not forgetting keeps the universe aligned, because we all will transition at some time or another. So we have to appreciate those that come before us. So when it's our time, those will appreciate us. So that's why I do that. And there's something else I always do. I gotta call down that protection for ourselves, from ourselves. Because I've said time and time again, I gotta keep that. I always like to say this because I want to break this curse. Some of us can be our own worst enemy. So I call down that protection against any negative, toxic thing that's in your life that's trying to get near you. I deflect it in my Creator's power of the universe. And I'm here to tell you, my soldiers and soldierettes, being accountable for our happiness is our job. It's no one else's job. And I know this is not easy for everyone, but it can be done. And especially those that have been touched by karma. We know the do's and the don'ts, the ups and the downs. No one, no place, no thing, like I've said before, and this is something I'm going to push. I'm seeing how important life is like a noun. That's what, when you break things down, that's what make you see clear and help you to get through obstacles. You have to break things down. Like I said, life is like a noun. Person, place, or thing. You shouldn't look for things to make you happy within. And the reason why it's so important, and I know a lot of us brothers and sisters say that you have to carry your own happiness. You have to be responsible for your own happiness. And it's a reason for that. And I know it's a lot of teachers out here, salute, that have broke this subject down. But I'm just coming at another aspect and another perspective. You know, we are living this. That's why a lot of us teach this. And we've seen the benefits. And like I said in my book, which you may go on my channel and check it out. It's called Unlocking the Vault. And I got part 1, 2, and 3. And I just recently did 3. And I'm up to page 8. And I do have page 9 written. And I will continue. And I don't have a set level of pages I'm going to write. I'm just going to keep being led by the spirit of my Creator. So, you know, you can welcome to join into that, because I talk about different issues in my book. You know, some of the things that a lot of us brothers and sisters that we talk about. But like I said, just another perspective of another foot soldier here that's with the rest of us. But yes, a lot of us come to this we are accountable for our own happiness because we've seen the benefits of it. And again, I go back to what I said in my book. Results should always be our priority. And if we're not aware and not trying to educate ourselves, our psyche, our spirit, you know, our different behaviors that can damage us in the long run. If we're not paying attention to these things and not studying them, then no, we're not going to have happiness within. Because if you got a lot of chaos within your mind and your spirit, and you know, you're doing things just, you want what you want, you're not considering other people's feelings, or you're not considering your behavior, and if you're an individual that's reckless, male or female, then no, you're not going to have happiness within. Because if you're not taking time to study things, to build on things that can keep you having happiness within yourself, then you're always going to have chaos within yourself. It's no one else's responsibility to be for your happiness. You are accountable. We are accountable for our own happiness. And I've learned this through experiences, which a lot of us probably have, through karma, trial and error, learning, ups and downs. That syndrome I always like to talk about, the woulda, coulda, shouldas. And if you're still, now, like I always got to say, it's a lot of us, especially in these times, it's a lot of us that have mental illness, problems, some things that we can control, some things that are out of our control. But there are those that do have control and do know what they're doing, but don't care, just want what they want. And that's just not how it works in the universe. You can't, especially if you're reckless and you're harming someone and you're being irresponsible and you're not thinking and it's affecting those around you. That's when it's a problem. And you'll never find that happiness in yourself trying to get over on someone, hate on someone, be sneaky and take a person's weaknesses and using it against them. People who are doing that, and I feel sorry for you. You're never going to find happiness. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not always going to be young. I'm 51 and I've done a lot of dumb shit, as a young person, and being a young parent and being, in my 20s, being irresponsible, and those times when I didn't have that, that voice that make me stop doing the irresponsible things that I used to do. But that's the tools that I always say. I go back to my book, and I think that was part 2, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was part 1. We extract the needed tools of the past. So that's some of the tools that I take from the past, my irresponsibility, and and I reflect. And that's another thing. If you're one of those individuals that don't have reflection of things that you have done wrong and bad in the past, and it doesn't motivate you to do better as an adult, and you continue, then you're going to be forever lost in no happy land. And you're going to be forever, and a lot of us say this, and I hate to say this again and sound like a broken record, and a lot of us brothers and sisters and teachers say this: you are always going to be on that hamster wheel if you are continuously looking for the outer, looking for happiness, because you're never going to find it. Now, depending on what you look at on the outer, male or female, depending on what you're viewing on the outer, it can bring some inspiration, some happiness, depending on what it is. But everything can't be found on the outside. It is utterly impossible. If you don't have that confidence within, that happiness within, that inspiration, that motivation, that enthusiasm to be better every day that you can possibly be, if you don't have that within and you're not trying to be, and you override that good voice that always talks to us, because some always say, and you always hear me say, and I don't care how much I say this, we are intelligent people. We are not dumb. We know when we ourselves, not just something in the world, but ourselves, when we know when something in ourselves ain't right. And people that do that and continue doing that when you know you're doing wrong and you know the shit ain't right and you continuously do it. But ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be laying in that bed for a long time that you made, and you will never ever find happiness. Again, I'll reiterate, a lot of us teachers, a lot of us brothers and sisters, we have been through the fucking fire. We know what it is. So don't look at a lot of us teachers, a lot of us brothers out here and sisters as some kind of way. Don't look at us sideways. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know what it took a lot of us teachers out here, a lot of brothers and sisters you see speaking. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know things that they encountered in their life in the past that led them to the walk they're on. So that's why I don't judge those. If I, have some, because most, like I said, if you're in a righteous circle, most brothers and sisters that you are connected to are righteous and whole. But none of us are perfect. So they might say and do something by mistake, but that doesn't make them bad. So that's the beautiful thing right there. If you got happiness within yourself, you will see the joy and the realness in others. And you will see if they, sometimes we make mistakes, but deep within that they mean well. But if you're a hateful individual, if you're a negative individual, and you're looking for the wrong, or you have that jealous poison in you, and you don't, that's definitely gonna discard, like a narcissist discarding their prey. That's you having negative, jealous poison within you. That's gonna discard all your happiness, and you will, if you don't have happiness within, and you're not able to look at a person. I'm just going to use social media as an example because I know how social media can have an effect on your psyche. So let's say, for an example, you see a huge platform that's got, great views, just heck views. Now, me, myself, I've gotten over that. I just enjoy my brothers and sisters, whether they're low views or high views. But we do have those individuals that don't have that strong mindset like that, and will look at views at different videos and will feel discomfort. Now, if you're feeling like that, that's when you work on yourself, and that's when you go within and you see where that's coming from. Don't just ignore it, because it will fester. And if you don't have your mind right, psychologically, it can fuck with you, so to speak. So those are the areas right there where we have to study ourselves, especially when it comes to this social media, because it can do a number on your psyche if you don't have your shit together within. So that's all I'm saying. Sorry for the cuss words, but I'm passionate. Sometimes when you're passionate, as we see other brothers and sisters out here, we get passionate. What comes up comes out. But a lot of us, it comes from a very good place, and that place is being accountable for our happiness. If you're accountable for your happiness, my brothers and sisters, you will miss so much heartache. You won't have to worry about so much heartache. And you will, when you have happiness within, really have it within, my soldiers and soldierettes, salute. Your life will become, as you grow and get older and get wiser, life will become more simpler, and you will understand things a lot more better when you study that happiness within. So that's all I'm saying. And I know this is not easy all the time, especially in these times. And there's so much stuff going on, within our personal lives, and we seeing it happening in other lives, and brothers and sisters that's out here reaching. And I know we got different religions and different philosophies, but what I see in a lot of my brothers and sisters is the truth within, and the wanting to open up other brothers and sisters' eyes and wanting us to grow. And I know we have different ways of doing that, but as long as we mean well and we looking to see growth in others, we will be fine. Because in the end, we are all searching for that same thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that's that inner peace, that bold inner peace, that happiness. And we have this. A lot of us have this, and unfortunately, there's some that don't. But you can't give up. And you can't let your emotions take over you, and you can't let it consume you. And if you do something wrong to an individual, I'm talking about really wrong and evil, you're going to have to set it right within yourself. You can set it right with the other individual too. That's good. That's great. But the most important person that you're going to have to set it right with is yourself, because you can't lie to yourself. Doesn't matter what you do on the outside or what you portray. People will see if you have that real joy or light inside. So I say again, my soldiers and soldierettes, salute. We are accountable for our happiness. Being accountable for our happiness will save us a lot of heartache. Because if you can't have a relationship with yourself, with your spirit within, and you gotta have somebody else to make you happy, or some other thing, or you go crazy when you're alone, then there's something that you're gonna have to deal with within. And only you know what that is, because everybody's an individual. Because I don't know everything, but One thing I do know is our spirit don't lie. So, again, being accountable for our happiness is our job. Not no person, place, or thing. And if you study this and you keep doing it and you keep trying, I don't care what you got to do. If you got to read books on it, whatever you got to do, listen to another brother or sister speak. You have to take that step. You have to take that initiative. It can be done. And you can't teach things to other people and you're not trying to do it. So this is for myself also. We can't, and a lot of us say this, we can't portray one thing to others and not trying to do it ourselves, even though we know it's not easy. But the Creator know, and those that connect to you, they will know your true light. And they'll know if you got that happiness. And always spread that happiness to others. But when you got it within, those with a high vibration, they will feel it. And that's my message. We are accountable for our happiness, nothing else. And that's my positive thought, and that's my real thought. And I thank whoever came in and joined another EBX discussion. And much love to the brothers and sisters that's doing this very same thing out there, that's reaching and teaching in an unapologetic way. And to my family, my children, that's who I give honor to, the mothers of my children, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are, right now. One.